Dynamics AX is a great ERP system, and you probably don't think it could get any better, but it can, because Dynamics AX leverages all of the other products within the Microsoft suite to extend the application outside of what the traditional ERP systems are able to do natively. In this overview, we will show you some of the ways that Dynamics AX leverages these products and how you'll be able to take advantage of them as well. The first product that we will look at is Link. If you're not familiar with Link, then it's the latest version of what used to be called Office Communicator. It's really a one-stop shop for securely messaging, desktop sharing, and collaborating with other people within the organization. Also, it's got voice and video communication as well. You can install it as an optional component along with Microsoft Exchange, or if you subscribe to Office 365, then it's included in your bundle. Let's take a look at some of the things that you can do with Link. Before we start though, let's quickly look at the two different Link clients that are available to you. The first one is more of a traditional version, and it runs on the desktop. This may be the one that you use or you have used in the past, and it allows you to access all of your address book, and also it allows you to communicate with anyone within your organization. The second type of client is a mobile version. It runs on Windows tablets, Windows phones, iPads, iPhones, and also Android devices as well, and gives you a different way of accessing or communicating with people via Link. It still has all of the same functionality as the desktop client, just it's a little bit of a different interface, more tailored for mobile applications. If you have a Link client running on your desktop, then something pretty cool happens. Whenever you see a contact's name, if that person has an IM account associated with their username, then they're online with Link, and you'll see a presence indicator that matches their status on Link. Let's see that in action. So I'm just going to go to some of the customers. Then I'm going to open up a customer. So for this customer account, if I associate an employee with this, then here's the presence indicator popping up against that employee. So immediately you're able to see if the person is online, also if they're available. By clicking on the icon, you'll be given a whole host of options. You can start chatting with them, and then they may be able to uncover more details of the transaction you're looking at. So I can just send Alicia an instant message. It's going to open up Link here, and then I could just say, hey. So now I'm on Alicia's desktop, and you can see that the instant message that I initiated through Dynamics AX is popping through immediately onto her Link client. She can reply back, and then we can start communicating backwards and forwards. The next area that we're going to look at is the integration with Microsoft Office. Almost all modern ERP systems have some sort of integration into the Microsoft Office products, since it's the best productivity suite on the market. Usually this entails some sort of static download to a spreadsheet, but Dynamics AX takes this integration to a whole new level by not only integrating with Excel, but also with Word and Microsoft Project and some other tools as well. So let's take a look at some of those and how they work. The first item we'll look at is really just a simple export from Dynamics AX out to Excel. Anytime that you have a grid form showing up, then you can just click the Export to Excel button, and it's going to push all of that information over to an Excel workbook for you. Now what makes this special though is the information hasn't just been cut and paste back into from Dynamics AX. If you click on the Dynamics AX tab, then you can click on the fields and you can see all of the fields that were in the table that you created the source from, and you can just go and drag any of these tables or fields up to the form and then close off the fields and then refresh this information, and now you'll have the new information showing up here within the Excel spreadsheet. So this is almost like a mini report that you've created just through Excel. You can do something a little bit different here as well. If you want to just grab information from Dynamics AX, then you can say I want to add a table, and it's going to show you all of the tables within the system, and we can filter this out and just choose a real table. That's going to go and create a link from the Dynamics AX table with full security, so you can only see the information that you're allowed to see here within Excel, and you'll have access to all of the table fields within the system. So now we can see that we have our customer table here, and we can go and just add any of the fields, for example the cash discount, up to the table, and then when we refresh this information, then it's going to go and grab all of the information from the database here and put it into Excel. Where this is a little bit different is that now that I've gone and grabbed the information from the table, then I can actually publish and update this information. So if I chose a customer and then chose a new cash discount table here, so for example 1% in 7 days, now that I've updated this, I can tell the system I want to publish, and it's going to publish this table or any of the fields that I've updated, and it's going to push that information back to Dynamics AX. If we click on this Dynamics AX status tab, then we'll also see a message as to how many records have been updated here within the view. The integration into Office isn't just available within Excel, but it's also available within other applications like Word. So with Dynamics AX, you can go out and create mail merge files or mail merge like files within Word that link directly back to Dynamics AX and the Dynamics AX data. So here we can see that we've got our customer account, and within Word we have also the Dynamics AX tab, and we can see all of the fields that are associated with the customer as we saw with the other view. We can go down and we can even see that there's a link down here for a subtable for all of the customer transactions. You can go out and you can format these however you want and make them look as pretty or as formal as you want. And what happens is that you can go and link these two transactions or two forms within Dynamics AX. For example, if I go into the sales and marketing area and go into my quotations, then in this case we've gone out and we've linked a Word document or a Word template here to our quotation. And if I wanted to print out a standard quotation template for this record, then the Word document that we created is going to be used as the template, allowing us really to update the format and update the view without having to get a developer involved. So here you can see that the Word document that we created is linked back to the record or the quote that we had in the system, and it's gone out and created that document for us. As a side benefit, then as I went out and I generated this document, then it also creates an attachment here and saves it away so that I always have access to it within the system. That's pretty cool. The final area that we'll look at with the Office integration is the integration into Microsoft Project. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over to the Project Management and Accounting area and look at one of the projects that I've got set up here in the system. And Project is a great tool that allows you to go and manipulate the project plans and the project schedules really in a simpler way than the formatting that's delivered within Dynamics AX. So what you'll notice is that if you go to the Plan tab here and I click Open in Project, then that's going to open up the work breakdown structure that we've got configured here within our Dynamics AX project, and it's going to pull it all in and it's going to show it to us in our Microsoft project. Now we can see the project has been set up with all the milestones and with all the events, and if we wanted to, we can go and change these and change the dates and also add additional lines here. And just like with Word and Excel, then there's a Dynamics AX tab up here which allows us to publish this information directly back to Dynamics AX. So you can do all the manipulation here and then push it back into the system where it can be used for all the planning and all of the other functions that are associated with the projects. So that's a neat and nifty way to use one of the Office applications. The next area that we'll look at is Microsoft Exchange. If you're like me, then you may have a number of ways that you access the system. So you may have emails and contacts that are stored on your laptop or your phone, or some information that's stored within Dynamics AX, and you'd like to share that information. So Exchange is the bridge that will keep this information up to date regardless of where you're accessing it. All of the tasks and contacts and appointments that are created within Dynamics AX can be automatically synchronized with Microsoft Exchange through the Exchange integration that's configured within Dynamics AX. So we'll have a look at that and I'll show you how that works. One of the easiest ways to show this in action is to go out and create an appointment within the CRM capabilities of Dynamics AX. So we can create a lunch appointment, and then we can say where we want it to be, and we can assign it to someone, and we can then also set the date. So one. And all we have to do is save this, and we now have an appointment within Dynamics AX. Now if I go over and look at my Office 365 account, then I have no appointments showing up here. All I need to do just to force this through is to perform a synchronization, which you could set up as a batch option as well, so that you don't have to worry about it. And that's going to then talk to Exchange and send all of my contacts and tasks and appointments that are outstanding over there, which will then pop up on my phone and any other smart device that I've got. So here you can see that some of the appointments were synchronized within the system. Now if I return back to my web Outlook application, then you'll see that it's gone out and it's created appointments for us as well. And I think I'm in the California time zone, so it's also made that adjustment as well. So that is really cool and that is really neat, especially since all of these this information, including the people that you have stored within Dynamics AX, are going to be stored as contacts within the system, and then those are going to show over on really all of your smart devices. Then additionally, if we go to the tasks, then you'll see all of the tasks that have been created through Dynamics AX are also synchronized here to Office 365. So that's a pretty neat feature and really useful for extending out Dynamics AX out from just the normal screens that you work in on a day-to-day basis. The next product that we're going to look at is SharePoint. Now SharePoint is really the backbone of all the collaboration and dashboarding capabilities that are delivered with Dynamics AX. It's used in the role centers for reporting, for document management, and so much more. Now since you've already got it installed on your environment, then why not take full advantage of everything that it has to offer? So we're going to look at some of the features that you can take advantage of out of the box without really investing a lot of time. Now the first area that we'll look at that utilizes SharePoint is the Role Center page that you have as your main landing page when you first open up Dynamics AX. Now these are really useful because you can see that we have a lot of information showing up here directly from Dynamics AX. Now if I click the personalize, then just as a user you can go out and you can change the look and feel, and you can add additional controls and views here without really doing any development. So if I just click on my add web part, then that's going to allow me to browse through all of the different features and widgets that are available through SharePoint, and I can add them directly to my Role Center. So if I also look down here and look at the Dynamics AX web parts, then we'll also see that we have a number of different components which are specific to Dynamics AX that have been added to SharePoint. There is an added benefit to the role centers above and beyond just being able to use them within Dynamics AX. Because they're running inside of SharePoint, then you also have the ability to run them as a standalone client through a browser. So that allows you to access all of the same KPIs that you had within the traditional client, except you don't have all of the framework within Dynamics AX around the outside. If you do run them, normally you will have a lot of web interfaces into Dynamics AX here within the menu bar. In addition to being able to run it as a client like this, you can also tweak the URL that is used to go out and access the Role Center and turn it into a tablet style application without all of the navigation. So all you have to do is add to the end of it a run on client equals 1 and an is dialog equals 1 qualifier, and then that does something really special, and that just gets rid of all of the framework in the outside, and then you just have a clean Role Center with all of your KPIs and all of your measures showing up. Another tool that is available within SharePoint that you may want to take advantage of is Performance Point. Performance Point is one of the dashboard designers that you can use to grab information directly out of Dynamics AX. The special thing about Performance Point is that you save all of your dashboards and all of your KPIs and metrics within SharePoint. And if, for example, you wanted to go out and create new dashboards, then there's a tool here which is called the Dashboard Designer, which if you click on, it's going to install the application for you on your desktop so that you can manipulate the information. This is free and delivered with SharePoint, and when you go and open up the Dashboard Designer, then you'll be able to access all of the data sources that are delivered with Dynamics AX, and also all of the dashboards that come pre-configured with Dynamics AX, so that you can add them to your role centers. This is a great way to look at your information. It gives you a lot of different capabilities when it comes to reporting in the system. One final tool that we'll look at is the Power BI integration that's available within Dynamics AX. If you look on most of the master forms, then you'll see an Analyze option or a reporting option that's built in. If you click on that, it's going to go and open up the Power BI Canvas Designer for you so that you can start generating your own dashboards. You can see that you have all of the dimensions and measures that come off the standard cubes, and you can very quickly go out and create a dashboard analysis where you have the customer number, customer group, and the customer name, and then start measuring that based off something within the system, for example, the open amount against the customers. Then if you want to turn that into a matrix, and then move these fields around, then it's very easy to manipulate this information and sort of change it on the fly. So all of this gives you the ability to then create additional dashboards. So if we change this just a little bit and turn this into a column chart, then we can start running our own analysis based on the customer information. The benefit here is that we can go and we can save these so that everybody else can use these. So this can be now, once you save them, there's one last piece of integration that's available for you that is enabled through the Power BI, and that's the ability to export this information out to PowerPoint. Now, once these are saved, the special thing is that this isn't a screen scraping. This is actually a live connection to the database. So this is Power BI has now gone out and saved this for us. Now Power BI has gone and saved this for us, and we can open this up, and we now have a chart that we can manipulate and change. But also if we turn this into slideshow mode, then this information is going to be linked back to Dynamics AX and it's going to be a live chart. So if I click on the Interact button, it's going to go out and find the latest information and display it to me. And then as I hover over the information, it's also going to allow me to see key information about the chart. So now I can select any of this information and filter it down as if it was a chart inside of the website. So that integration is pretty neat, allowing you to not only generate dashboards using Power BI, but also save them away and use them within the Office suite of applications. So hopefully that's given you a good idea of some of the capabilities that we have within Dynamics AX when you reach out to the Office applications and also to the other productivity tools like SharePoint and Link. There's a lot more that you can do, and there's a lot more integration that's available to you. And if you have any questions or want to know any more information about anything that we've seen here, then just drop us a line at IBIS and we'd be more than happy to help you.